Happy Monday, family. Today, we're stepping into a moment that almost every household reaches at some point in this journey. That moment when your child looks at all the choices in front of them and suddenly feels stuck, anxious, or shut down. And for Black students, that overwhelm often carries extra weight. The pressure to choose quote unquote right, the fear of disappointing someone, this uncertainty of stepping into spaces that weren't built with them in mind. This is episode 4: What to Do When Your Student Feels Overwhelmed by Choices. I'm Kris Coleman, your guide, your partner, and your sister girl in the struggle. And I'm so glad you stepped into the room with me today because overwhelm doesn't always look like panic. Sometimes it looks like silence. Sometimes it looks like avoidance. Sometimes it looks like I don't know on repeat. And as parents and caregivers, it can be hard to know when to step in, when to step back, or how to support without adding more pressure. During our time together, we're going to talk about how to recognize the signs of overwhelm, how to help your students slow the noise in their minds, and how to guide them towards clarity without taking the decision out of their hands. We're going to break down the cultural, emotional, and psychological layers that make this moment so real for our kids, and how you can be their anchor through it. I'm walking right beside you, family. We can do this. We will do this. Let's get started.
Yeah, the journey starts right here, right now. Let's go. Building futures, watching all the dreams grow. With Kris Coleman, your guide. A Fulbright scholar, JD, MBA, and Masters of History. Welcome to the Black Family College Guide. Real-time wisdom side by side. Your roadmap to success with knowledge inside.
When Black students stand at the crossroads of college decisions, it can feel like standing in the middle of a storm. Every decision looks important. Every option feels heavy. Every choice feels like it could change everything. And even when the choices are good, multiple acceptances, multiple scholarships, multiple opportunities, it can still feel like too much. Because sometimes abundance is just as overwhelming as scarcity. And I want to start here. Feeling overwhelmed does not mean your child is ungrateful. It doesn't mean they're confused. It doesn't mean they're immature. It means they understand the weight of the moment. It means they know this decision matters. It means they're trying to choose a future that they can live with, not just a school they can brag about. Our kids carry so much: expectations, dreams, pressures, fear of disappointing people, fear of choosing wrong, fear of missing out, fear of stepping into a world they've never seen before. And when all of that meets a stack of acceptance letters, it can feel like too much to hold. So let's slow the moment down. Let's take the pressure out of the air. Let's help them breathe again. The first thing you do when your child is overwhelmed, you remind them that they are not choosing the rest of their life. They're choosing the next 4 years. 4 years that will shape them, yes. 4 years that matter, yes. But not 4 years that lock them into a decision that they can't change. They are choosing a starting point, not a final destination. And sometimes just hearing that loosens the knot in their chest. The second thing you do is take the decision out of their head and put it on paper. Overwhelm grows in the mind. It shrinks when you can see the choices clearly. So sit with them. not as the expert, not as the parent who knows best, but as the partner, as someone who is helping them sort through the noise. Ask them to list the schools. Then ask them to list what matters most to them, not what matters most to you, not what matters most to their friends, and not what matters most to social media. What matters most to them? Safety, belonging, cost, distance, major, support, culture, opportunity, mental health, community. Whatever it is, let them name it. And then gently help them compare each school to the things they say matter. Not the things they think should matter, the things they said matter. Because when a student is overwhelmed, the worst thing you can do is take over. The best thing you can do is guide them back to themselves. The third thing you do is help them separate excitement from alignment. Excitement is loud, alignment is quiet. Excitement is the sweatshirt, the campus tour, the hype. Alignment is the feeling of, I can grow here, I can breathe here, I can be myself here. Excitement fades, alignment sustains. So ask them, where do you feel most like yourself? Ask them, where do you feel calm? Ask them, where do you feel seen? Ask them, where do you feel like you could actually live your life, not just visit for a day? Because the right school won't just impress them, it will settle them. The fourth thing you do is help them imagine the ordinary days. Not the moving day, not the first football game, not the tour, the ordinary days. Waking up for class, walking across campus, sitting in the dining hall, studying in the library, navigating the culture, finding community, asking for help, being black in that environment. Ask them, where can you see yourself on a random Tuesday? Because that's where the truth lies. The fifth thing you do is remind them that choosing one school is not rejecting the others. It is choosing the place that fits who they are right now. And who they are right now is enough. They don't have to predict the future. They don't have to know everything. They don't have to be certain. They just have to choose the place that feels most aligned with the version of themselves they're becoming. And then there's the emotional layer, the part we don't always talk about. Sometimes overwhelm comes from fear, fear of leaving home, fear of being alone, fear of not being ready, fear of disappointing someone, fear of choosing a path that feels too big. So sit with them in that fear. Don't rush them out of it. Don't tell them, just pick. Don't tell them, you'll be fine. Ask them what they're afraid of. Ask them what feels heavy. Ask them what feels confusing. Ask them what feels like too much. And listen, really listen. Because sometimes the overwhelm isn't about the choice, it's about the pressure to get it right. And here's the truth, there's no perfect choice, there's only the choice that fits best, the choice that aligns, the choice that supports, the choice that protects, the choice that grows them. And when you help them see that, the overwhelm starts to soften. The sixth thing you do is give them permission to pause. Not forever, not to avoid the decision, but to breathe, to step away from the noise, to let their minds settle. Sometimes clarity comes when the pressure lifts. Sometimes the answer rises when the urgencies fall. And finally, you remind them of this: they're not alone. They're not doing this by themselves, and they're not carrying this weight without support. They have you, they have their community, they have their lineage, they have the wisdom of generations behind them, and they have time, even when it feels like they don't. So when your child is overwhelmed by choices, you don't push them, you don't rush them, you don't decide for them. You guide them back to themselves. You help them see clarity. You help them breathe. You help them choose from a place of truth, not fear. And when they choose from truth, they choose well. Our midweek blog will include a decision clarity guide you can use to help your students sort through their choices without pressure or panic. Look for that on Wednesday. Hey, thanks for joining me today. I hope something you heard settled in your spirit and gave you exactly what you needed for this moment in the journey. Come back next Monday. I'll be right here, ready to continue the real conversation with you. Bye, y'all.
Yeah, the journey starts right here, right now. Let's go. Building futures, watching all the dreams grow. With Kris Coleman. Check out the blog, new drops every Wednesday. Back next time, don't miss a single day.